man like Zeppa on deck. Doesn't even have a jersey yet, at least as far as the profiles are concerned. But yeah, man, it's been that is quite grisly.
Dude,
scene,
that's so
isn't
sick. That's my first time seeing that. I know
it
that they
reminds
normally
me
do this with the maps, but yeah, that was super sick.
Do you remember the old T-spawn on Nuke? You'd have the dead body in the booth, but it's gone now for a crashed truck. But anyway, Finney's made his way up Banana, and he's got a lot of FURIA players in tow. Little jiggling, and they head towards the B-bomb site. Floppy's behind the coffins, and they will be trying to find him. Looks like retake territory for Cloud9. We've seen this in pistol rounds from them before, and here come the HGs for that default plant spot. Still alive, though, is everybody on FURIA.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Cloud9 can get their way in. They have that construction control. Vinny will be able to help defend that, though, taking down both Alex and Floppy. Still more players to come, though. 3 here from Cloud9 as they enter. Well, they're trying to enter the site. The smoke is going to create some space to get through, cover some of those angles, but it's going to be actually Mezzi who's able to take down both players at the back of the site, which now leaves Keserato isolated towards the banana position, and that plant, though, is really paying off. There's nothing else that they can do. Keserato will easily deal with the remainder, and that's going to be FURIA picking up that first crucial round.
I like rounds like that. It's really hard to hold the B-bomb side nowadays. Like, you kind of see the same kind of opt for, you kind of play retake instead, you know, pillar and CT spawn. So nice effort by C9, almost had it there. FURIA, though, good spacing as well, good positioning.
Disposing of an unwanted grenade, and off they go, FURIA. Again, it'll be most eyes on Cloud9 once the buys come through to see what this new team is shaping up like. We've got Alex with the scout. Very difficult to use that on Inferno, I feel like, effectively, but this is pretty much a full force buy. He's left $700 in the bank, has Alex, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if he has the AWP out. And I do wonder if he'll play the AWP basically every half. Will we see T-side Mirage, for example, or will it be when deemed appropriate? There are some teams who go 5 AKs on Mirage, for example. So
I mean, I was just going to say that I think that there's a lot of maps you can get away with not using an op. I think you know, even some teams to this day, you don't buy an op to kind of counter the opponent's upper when you know they get the economy up. So I think if C9 have a similar kind of idea, you know, Inferno, to your point, James, you don't need an op if you don't want to. I think it adds in a little bit more extra depth, but not really needed, CT side or T side. Same thing on other maps. Dust 2 as well, it's a very long map, but technically you don't need ops. You know, if you don't want to, you can just play a lot of close quarter duels.
I really like the approach here from FURIA in terms of this like anti-force buy or anti-eco. Maybe they didn't know precisely what they were up against at the beginning of the round. Just taking that top banana control, then just sending everybody through Arch for the B split. Really cool stuff. I was going to ask you guys as well, what do you think about Cloud9 opting to go for a force buy here out of the gate on the CT side? I'm not sure that I'm a fan of not going into that first gun round with, or just having the maximum economy on that CT side as quickly as you can.
I think you double save here now then, right? Because I think the argument you make normally is when you save just the 2 rounds, essentially, you don't get full equipment anyway. So it's like one of those of like, why not take the gamble? If it pays off, it pays off. I think normally what you end up doing in these rounds like these as well is you try to save the weapons if they, you gamble a bomb site. But yeah, you're going to be probably close to 3-0 up here, potentially even a 4th, depending on the money here for C9. But I think that when you're a new team like this as well, maybe you go for a lot more surprise buys, right? A little bit more unorthodox rounds, maybe. It's not really common to buy second round, so maybe you just go for a bit of a play.
Yeah, it has gone out of fashion somewhat. I think a force buy scout is difficult to use unless you are quite exceptional with the scout. Maybe we'll see more of that from Alex. But for now, they'll have 3 HE grenades on this 3rd round. High explosive on deck. Got some anti-flash being played as well. We'll see what they're able to do. Utility damage, very important on Inferno, especially in that relatively narrow channel of Banana. Got some mollies to stop any crossfires from the CTs, force them away, but are not forward such. Behind sandbags clear as well. So all the nooks and crannies being cleared out by FURIA. Here come the grenades. It's still alive. So I think it's back now, and Stream has died. But we can only...
No, they're all dying. I can see.
I'm gonna guess at least one person died on Banana. We have a sound problem on our side, which I guess is why they're restarting it. But hopefully it comes back soon.
It's fine.
In the
I've got the
meantime-
HLTV scorebot. Everything's fine.
Okay, what's going on there?
I don't know. I can't. It's not loading. Oh god. It's all going
You
wrong.
baited us hard there, Dan. I don't- why would you do this?
Well, I mean, by the looks of it, so just to recap what just happened there, we're just about to push up Banana. Oh, I think.
what happened?
Okay, oh man, they actually did push up Banana, and they got some trades. Seppa with 2, Messi with the 1, AK on Alex now. Still no armor, so I mean, still winnable, but.
It looks like maybe FURIA tried to react and entry A from the balcony. I can see there's an orange X there where one of the 3 players died. It seems that failed as well. So it's Yuri and Vinny remaining. Who will try to do what they can, but they've got 11 seconds on the clock and they're moving into a sandwich as Cloud9 will surely push this smoke. Alex is in the back as well with the AK-47. There's a trade from Zeppa. New man on deck. New man Zeppa. And Cloud9 most certainly did steal a round.
Yeah, I mean, so the stream died as they were pushing out Banana, but we kind of saw what happened there anyway without really seeing. So they pushed out, FURIA obviously got some trades here, but then we saw the apps push, and then once they got the trade there, they went back to B. 2-on-3 situation, didn't have time to clear out the bomb site. And that's an equal win from C9. Comes with a semi-aggressive Banana play. Mid-round at that, wasn't right off the bat aggressive, but it's another buy here from FURIA though, up on Art. Not surprised.
No, but look at this angle. Oh, you have to know your angles there. Alex, did have that right eye, but this is advantage better for Art, and he's really not shy at all. Very confident with that, and I mean, confidence really is something that you always will associate with Art. Really great forward movement here from the FURIA Esports team. They are so savage. It's just never not the case, is it?
You're right there, though, Dan, as well. This is really where, when we talk about Alex being a main opper, yeah, you can argue like, oh, you can get the kills and stuff like that, but it comes back to positioning of knowing the angles and like really knowing how to peek and where to peek and how to position yourself. And you see there, I actually don't think that Alex even saw him at all, right? Because
I don't think
advantage. So, Art super smart there, knowing his angles right. Obviously played this game for a very long time, gets the kill there. This should be a save from C9. I don't even know why they're even still thinking about it.
I think that's one of the greatest challenges when you're like, okay, I'm going to take the AWP for the team, and you're up against an exceptional sniper like an Art or a Henny or a KNG or a Fallen, etc. It's like they know everything about sniping, all the angles and all the bomb sites. I think KNG is one of the strongest examples, but I mean, you can see what Art's doing there as well. That's a fairly common off angle that some snipers will hold as T tries to get towards that bench position, but Art's ready for it. He knows where to expect someone standing. And again, with just deeper experience with the AWP, you're going to get caught out in situations like that.
And that's why you also see, when you talk about, getting matched up against the best oppers, normally when you have a secondary opper or maybe an opper that might not be as good, normally the play style you tend to see these guys take a little bit more passive roles. You get the one and you back up. And you don't go for these, necessarily hero plays. So in Alex regard there, you might say he obviously has another off, but you see the defensive stance here again now. So it's going to be fun to kind of pay attention to see how it kind of runs around the map on the CT side, knowing as well these obviously a little bit new on that main AWP role. I think you can make the justification if you're a very skillful operator, right, with a simpler Saibu, that you can afford yourself to be a little bit more aggressive. But I think the most important thing for Alex is honestly just staying alive, holding angles, getting a kill, right, and falling back and just getting your teammates to help.
And FURIA with that initial map presence now going back into a full B play. There's only, of course, S-Tag and Floppy there. They're playing really passive, so Cloud9 don't have info just yet. They don't have that timing to help them get the info in the time when they need it. And so they just got to rely on the defenders, the anchors of the site, and it's not going too well here. Being wrapped on by FURIA is never a fun prospect. And Cloud9 are getting decimated so far on this B site, leaving just Zeppa and Mezzi, who are quite isolated from one another, and now that bomb is ticking as well to make matters worse. And yeah, it's looking like a very confident showing from FURIA. But again, confidence, aggression, these are always kind of the ways that we would describe this team, and it's just always been their identity, and partly what has made them so fun always to watch.
I don't know if I could pick a team that's more confident than FURIA at the moment. The way they're playing, it's such a joy to watch. Bringing their own style into the game and adding to some of the meta plays. I think it was Inferno where they fake planted on the B bomb side and rotated to A. So they're definitely, I've seen Fallen trying to do that in FPL since then. So everyone's definitely absorbing the aggression that we're seeing from FURIA. We'll see if others can replicate this as well.
We started seeing that on them as well on Overpass, also another map that they do that a lot with, like the double fakes and stuff like that, just really running around. But to your point, I love it, right? I mean, we saw when these guys kind of just started getting into the scene, the way that they played didn't really work, but just the fact that they kept identity and they kept working on it. So now, you know, it's just a working kind of fluid system. Even with the 4 versus 5, right? So I think that's really the conversation point here of like, how can we make this team work if Art just ends up dying? And that's really, they're the best team at it, right? So it kind of speaks for itself. Love this aggressive player from C9. They're on Nico, so I mean, might as well try something. Messi ends up going down, though. Art said that Honda was supposed to be the new refined Art. Was that what I heard? Is Honda going to be another aggressive player here, maybe?
I don't see how anyone who plays for FURIA cannot be aggressive. The way their general style is, I think it has to be. I don't think there's a choice.
Yeah, I mean, what a great start here from FURIA. I think to Dan's point, and when you talk about Inferno in general, like the map hasn't changed too much. So when you talk about meta and stuff like that, I think one of the things we did notice maybe the past 6 months were that people got a little bit better with the utility, you know, reading the game a little bit more. We saw the tendencies of maybe CTs just pushing for banana and fighting for banana. But I think T's starting to realize that it takes a lot of utility when you do that and you don't get the payoff. There's no utility left to hold the B bomb site. So you even see now less and less banana plays. I think they're a little bit more set rounds rather than just taking them away right away, and trying to just go for a little bit more reads. And we saw that there. Even the last round with C9, when they actually did end up pushing the bomb side for FURIA, there was no nades to hold them off. So utility on this map is just by far most important.
I wonder if we're going to see an AWP challenge to Art on banana. Because for now, it's been towards the A bomb site, and we see that mid-round, Art just goes to have a look and see what's going on towards banana. And indeed, there's a push into the B bomb site now. It's a 5-on-2 situation, although they're going around the back, classic Fnatic style. Not with the full wall of smoke, however, but they'll still have a good result. S-Tag getting picked off, which leaves one player hiding in a smoke at the back of the bomb site. In the meantime, Cloud9 trying to fight for a chance for a retake, but 2 versus 4 at this point. I'm not sure if there's much more to do, but lose a weapon. We can see Zeppo's kind of stuck in CT as Mezzi starts to creep down T ramp, as I think his choices have been taken away for this one as FURIA look to make it 4-1 on the T side.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of time left, and there's such a limited amount of utility remaining in Cloud9's camp. They're going to have to make it work off of the firepower they have. But FURIA making their way forward. Alex might have a small window of opportunity here, but no, not quite. The flashes are there to cover. Vinny also really understands what to expect and is good to go. And he's Mezzi here on the balcony, and he's been spotted too. FURIA very methodical in their aggression, and he's going to get picked off. Mezzi's still alive in the pit position, but they know this, and he is able to play off of a teammate there. He's got Floppy by his side. Definitely a very, very capable player, really mechanically skilled, but he's got a lot to chew on at the moment here on the site by himself. S-Tag is making his way to the action, but he's a little bit slower. He's towards banana right now, and Floppy, he can only survive for so long. S-Tag is also being caught now, running by Art on the lurk. So once again, FURIA, even when they slow it down, it still looks just, I don't know, it's very methodical.
I mean, it's just such a nice play, right? We were talking about utility just then. We kind of saw C9, Alex busting off, just Noah had armor, obviously, but no utility. So to your point here, Dan, yeah, they take their time, but C9 have no nades to hold them off. So they're just allowed to sit there, hold their angles, wait for C9 to walk into them. Obviously, nice shots as well coming in from FURIA there. But yeah, you can definitely tell C9 with the new player as well, a little bit unsynchronized, I'd say, a little bit mismatched with when the buy with even approach.
Yeah, great start
AWP here. Yeah, AWP from Alex hasn't paid off so far. And I think to your point here, James, maybe moving the AWP from Art to the B site, but I think here as well, C9 hasn't found a way to actually lock in the A bomb site. Alex keeps on getting punished. He's bought off, I think this is round number 3 now, right? Hasn't really paid off for him at all, so why change when it's been working?
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see more aggression from Cloud9 on Banana. I mean, they're going to be at maximum loss bonus, so that's not going to be an issue. Because we've seen FURIA take their initial positions and then have the AWP go down mid towards Banana, but it hasn't really been a challenge. And they haven't had full control of Banana at that point with smokes and so on, Cloud9. So we'll see if they opt for something new in the round to come. A lot of flashes here for FURIA with the smokes as well. See them looking to potentially split this A bomb site.
Yeah, I would have loved to see more of a gamble here from C9 as well. I mean, there's obviously a full eco. We have some deagles and some armors, but it's still a 3-2 normal round here. And for FURIA, taking their time. I think this is going to be problems here for C9. It's a defensive setup. So maybe if the crossfires are on point here, Art's the first one to go down. That's a good start.
Look at the time. There's 16 seconds on the clock.
Himself as he's now getting charged. There's a tap the bomb, the pressure is on him, and Messi will win the swing as the defuse comes through. And Cloud9, they are looking good to get a, well, they've got a third round here, and maybe there's some life in the Colossus just yet.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good hold by C9. We finally got him with some utility there. So great hold, ended up getting their teammates over to B before FURIA had a chance to plant the bomb. So sure, it was the 3-on-3 after plant, but C9 still had some utility left, so and FURIA was completely empty. So great hold by C9, leaving some players alive as well. So we finally see another good buy here from them. So this is really when we start to talk about potentially some CT side dominance, hopefully stringing some rounds together here, getting some more economy on the board.
Yeah, this is a very big round for both teams because one of them going to be broke after this if they get wiped out.
This is what you asked for, James. He's going to be with the AWP. Defensive setup, though.
Oh, Alex has been popped. And Art's trying to find that kill by the Coffin's position. So early 5 versus 4 for FURIA. And again, they've got overwhelming numbers towards the A bomb site. Yuri's lurking for the rotation over towards A in the meantime, though. We'll see what they choose to do. S-Tag still alive by the ruins as FURIA make their way onto the B bomb site. to see Yuri lurking now. So they should know FURIA that there's nobody coming from Banana at the very least. Vinny needs to fall back, but he can't do it in time. Zeppa, having picked up the AWP, gets a kill. Honda needs to hold position now as Cloud9 continues to creep. Art looking to peek CT maybe. Does it do it from the low ground though? He has a rail next to him, so he could elevate, but he has forced back by the flashbang. Yuri's made his way towards Banana as well. That can boost over that smoke and wait for the push. Awkward for both sides now, but Cloud9 running out of time will fall away from that B-bomb site.
Oh man, that's a really good play by FURIA. I was worried for C9 playing 2 on the bomb side like that. That's kind of the new stuff that you see now when you don't take the banana anymore. You kind of use the smokes on the bomb side to kind of just cut off rotation so T's can't hit the bomb side, which C9 kind of try to do there again, right? But you see Floppy going down and leaving S-Attack by himself. FURIA getting a lot of time there, just choking him out of the bomb site, getting the bomb down. I think it's a good call here from C9 to save as well. They only had the 1 smoke left. Sure, they could use it in banana, but how do you clear off, you know, the bomb site and ruins? It's not really going to be a possibility. But yeah, FURIA, that's a nice little round win back. And C9 not being able to scratch some rounds together here.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Especially when you're up against a really aggressive team, I feel like one of the things I think this is like a universal thing against a team that has like a player that has a like really aggressive style, is like you want to find a way to like take them out of their comfort zone and not let them play that game or that pace that they're looking for, either by denying them fights or creating situations where they can't get the kind of fights that they're looking for. And I feel like, you know, FURIA have been at this for so long. They're really good at understanding how teams might want to try and do those things to deal with them. And so, you know, it looks kind of scary right now. They might be back on another upswing unless Cloud9 can make good use of this buy. FURIA looking to burst up top mid with every player pretty much. This is a scary prospect. Cloud9, only 3 players all the way in very passive positions. Kaserot is wrapping again. Speaking of aggression, it's 125 and they're basically, as they could be in CT spawn if they want to be. This is a lot of position for FURIA.
Look where Alex is. Oh my god, he also pushed down banana. I thought actually there was a really good play by FURIA. They actually made the right read. Alex went banana that round with the AWP, wrapping around Arch, but they ended up holding instead. Oh my god, Arch. Okay, man. All right, doesn't really matter. Defensive or not, they're hitting the bomb side now. Arch with ridiculous shots. Kesirata getting East tag as well, so it's 4 versus 2 now. I think this is going to be another safe call here from C9. Alex with the AWP, Floppy as well, just smoking his name, so... Anafamas.
If I could describe FURIA's playstyle in one word, it would be smurfing. Because if you look at the way they swing around along there, it's as if they're smurfing the way they're playing it, completely carefree. But that entry onto the A bomb site is absolutely crazy. The barrel of the gun from the AWP entering like that, not even seen in time. That was nuts. And I don't know how many teams other than FURIA could really make their way onto the A bomb site like that with a crossfire from Cloud9. Caught sleeping maybe, as Zeppa was just like expecting his teammate to have his back. That certainly wasn't the case. I know there were flashbangs in the execute, but again, despite their best efforts, Cloud9 being caught off guard by FURIA.
And if you're seeing that now, one thing you really want to look into, because if you pay attention to how they've been playing A, they've been playing very defensive, and we kind of see FURIA. Yeah, I mean it's absolutely ridiculous, right? But FURIA also taking their sweet time hitting the A bomb site here. So C9 just essentially getting choked out every single time they're having these positions. So I would love to see some mid-round aggression, maybe some even a mid-aggressive play with 3 or 4 there, just holding mid for a second, instead of just allowing FURIA just to take these areas for free, essentially, because we see him here now as well. They're just going to walk up to banana. C9, they do have the 3 there. We know that, sure, they have a somewhat of an eco, but Alex still have the AWP though, so just looking to make a move there.
Zeppa, he's trying it again. He was quite successful in a previous save round with a move like that, but this time he's not, and that would have been huge. He would have that was an isolated play. Would have been able to pick up an AK. That could have even just stopped the push by itself and maybe made FURIA reconsider. But alas, it's going to be the push on A as intended from FURIA, as Mezzi tries to do what he can from the pit. Again, has hit some nice shots, but there's only so much you can do when you're getting peaks like that and the flashes are raining in. And the issue's taken out of Cloud9's hands. They just are forced once again to save. And it feels like these rounds are so quick. And it's not just that FURIA is really aggressive and that's why they're quick, but it's that when FURIA makes that kind of committed, kind of sweeping first move, they always kind of get it to completion, to getting their objective, as opposed to Cloud9 finding a way to slow them down, maybe get the picks
you're gonna fight for it,
and then kind of reset the situation. Exactly, and it kind of goes to that maybe that conundrum you were talking about, Robin, where it's like against FURIA, it's like they're so good at taking position, so you're almost deterred from fighting for it because you just feel this inherent disadvantage. But at the same time, if you give them all the position, it's also just putting them in too great of a position of advantage. So it's what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, because look at FURIA's all the whole half here. They've gotten banana for free. They've gotten mid for free. So essentially, they've been executing every single time, and C9 are just holding spots. So like, you can make the argument, sure, maybe you don't go for a banana push play. I would probably make the argument here of like maybe you do just to get some map control, but at least play a little bit more aggressive spots, with the flashbangs, get some trades as well, so you at least get the entry. Because right now you're really working on the fact that you're just hoping that FURIA will just walk into your crosshair and maybe make a mistake, but it's 9-3 down, and again we see these defensive setups. This is actually the first time we see C9 going a little bit aggressive on lane with a boost. So I like this. This is a little change of pace here from C9, actually fighting for mid this time around. I love this. This is a good gamble from C9 as well. They boosted one guy mid. Now they're obviously rotating as well, but not a lot have happened on the map. So C9 are honestly just gambling here, not based on information, but really just based off of a gamble call.
Yeah, and one way to really mess with an opponent that's in that position is by like mixing up your pacing. So they completely misread how they should be gambling. And it kind of feels like FURIA are trying to force some of those kinds of mistakes, because they've really slowed down a lot here. A minute mark, and they're not on a bomb site yet. For FURIA, that's a big difference.
So for C9 here, to do a mid-round aggression, I like that. They smoke it off. They were actually going to rotate back, but FURIA is actually pretty smart here. They just stay. But we see Alex as well have full control over mid. This is still a very risky round here if you C9, because FURIA has done a really good job here with the read. Great entry though from SSTag, holds off the push, and a smoke comes down as well. This is a really good hold from C9. I actually think that they played this round perfectly. Mid-round aggression. We have a round in the beginning as well where they just peek mid. A lot of nades coming in here as well, and FURIA can't even hit the bomb site. Great hold.
And now some hope, picking up a round, the prospect of perhaps a couple more if they can kind of repeat that result. And yeah, life is good. But at the same time, FURIA have had so much success playing much faster rounds that maybe you would expect FURIA to be like, all right, let's not let them get a grip or a handle of things. Let's just hit them with our fast stuff again and just see if they can handle it now. The double up is in play again for
exactly.
Cloud9. Yeah.
We'll see. Same thing. FURIA getting banana for free. C9 have been letting them. They've been taking it back mid-round. But this time, they've only been playing 2 on the B bomb side. Oh my god, SSTag gets caught off guard. Art again just walks in, and that's the down. Oh my god. This is the downside when you're C9, man, where you don't fight for banana at all. Like, FURIA knows it. They just walk straight in. Everything is for free. You just clear the bomb side, gets the first, and then you walk in again. Oh, very unfortunate.
That's like the most classic counter, that you can. One of the most classic counters, I feel like. You convince a team that they shouldn't play on aggressively for a position, and then you can just walk up. It's such a strong punish. Oh, and it feels bad. How bad does it feel to lose a round like that, where you just you just get picked off with an AWP, and they didn't even have to throw any utility in there. It's just one player that just won the round.
And even timing, right? You see there, SSTag not really aware that they could be up in banana so fast, right? It really comes into information of, they don't. I get a sense for C9 hasn't really got a hold for what FURIA is doing in their early rounds. Because even in the mid, right, we saw the one round where C9 tried to fight for mid a little bit, but they don't waste a lot of utility there, just to waste the one smoke and fall back, and then just hold a very defensive angle. So then when you do it that way, you really talk about crossfires, you really talk about flashbangs, where they're supposed to land, and getting the trades in order, which hasn't really happened for C9. Again, can't fault them too much. New team, takes them a while to get used to that. So that's why you make the argument of normally you tend to see teams playing a little bit more aggressive in the beginning when they're newer teams, so they don't have to deal with the team play too much.
Oh, dear.
Great 2 entries though.
Guys below me are trying to set the building on fire. I don't know if that came up on stream or not, but I can smell burned cooking from here. But anyway, fire alarm's been reset and Bardolph is back. 10-4. No massive surprises so far. It's very strong performance from FURIA, and I think that's not unusual for them on Inferno. And again, a Cloud9 of a new roster trying to find their feet. And again, it's essentially, I mean, it could be, like Zeppa's new to the team. That creates 2 different roles in, Zeppa joining the team and him figuring out how to play off of his teammates and having experience where less communication is required. Alex on the AWP now, but that may have switched other roles around as well. We'll see how things develop. So it is quite the reset for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, I'd make the argument it's a brand new team, right? They're kind of coming in completely reset.
Yeah, basically.
So having to play FURIA for your first game, not fun, and I can unfortunately kind of see Nuke as well not being very fun, but we'll see. It was their map pick after all. And it's not over yet, Make a 10-5 scoreline here. You get the entry on Art, which is a great pickup. You still have a lot of utility as well on C9 here, so in terms of being able to hold off a potential push, that should be doable. And we even see the rotates coming in here now. So this is a 3-man setup here from C9. Alex does go down though. Messi in a great spot, gets the 2. Looking like a round over.
Yeah, Zeppa's on the flank as well, so there's a potential crossfire if required. Vinny's got a lot to do now. 20 seconds, completely blind, still finds the headshot on Zeppa, but that will be a 5th round for Cloud9 as we move into halftime. We'll see if they can do more than this after the break.
To that. So
yes, yeah, there's a place for everything. I was expecting James to start talking about watches already, shoes, you name it. We haven't had any of that yet. It's been very tame so far, but we are back with the second half. I've seen that.
So Dan was telling us about the VR, but now he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. We can only guess what is it called again?
The Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, we can only guess what it's like.
Yeah, we can chat about that in a bit. We've got this pistol between FURIA and Cloud9, and I don't want us to. I mean, of course, we know how good FURIA is, and they were just running through the paces, and things were going pretty well in that first half. But let's not clown out Cloud9 just yet. On this T side now, they can show us what they have to bring to bear. Art is challenging, as confident as ever. He's got 3 teammates behind him, so it's a little bit of a bait if he was to die. Maybe Cloud9 could read that as the bomb site being ripe for the taking, but Cloud9 seem to know better than that, and they're going to make their way towards a very underguarded A bomb site. This is the perfect pick. But Queserato, how many highlights have we seen with a USP from him? Maybe not this time.
The fact that he just gets the 1 though, can't really fault him for that. I think he's done his job. That's a really cool pistol round from FURIA as well, with Archers being the bait, being very quick down in Banana as well. It's a 3-on-2 situation now. Bomb does go down. Decent spots for C9 here now. Makes it a 2-on-2, so this is very winnable now.
Well, down to the 1v1 now. Mezzi versus Vinny. UK Mans, oh my god, 1 HP. That's exactly what Cloud9 needed. It must be hype wherever they are, at least on the comms. Because it's been a hard game for them so far versus FURIA. If they had lost that pistol round, then that would have been a really difficult situation for them. But they have a chance now, at least to show us something. Look, see Vinny just baiting for his teammate. The air strafe is ridiculous.
I can't believe Zeppa gets that flick as well. That's absolute insanity. We're not the one that talks about stats too much, but obviously Messi getting the 3 kill there. Just noticed that he is definitely playing really well for the C9 side. 17 kills to his name. 8 deaths.
Oh my days.
Oh, the nade. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, it started with triple HEs from Cloud9, which did no damage, and then FURIA's like response And now the Mag 7 has dropped the bomb on the other side of the half wall. Some isolation with the incendiary as well. Some flashes. This could end in disaster for Cloud9, but surviving for the time being. Still a dangerous round. There are still more Desert Eagles on deck, so they've got to be real careful about this. They could consider some weapon disposal should it be required on Banana.
At least they have
Honda, he's got an off-angle second mid, so if they try and rotate, surely one of them's going to die. But looking at the health on Alex, he may be doomed in this round, waiting for a peek from FURIA, which may never come. Of course, they've got superior position, whatever Cloud9 choose to do.
At least C9 have 3 smokes here on Molly as well, so they could just smoke off the site, Molly off new boxes. We'll see here though, but as you pointed out, James, Honda is already on the flank. It's going to be really quick here. 40 seconds left though, so they do have time to fall back. It's going to be all up to timing. This is where experience really comes into play, because Honda, you could make the argument here that he should really just be sitting here until they make their play onto B. But it's a fake. Oh no, they spotted him.
But Floppy can't hang around because it's 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, they leave him.
He's got to run to the bomb site, and Honda knows exactly what's happening as well. Oh, a pre-fire almost hit Zeppa, but surely he runs towards Zaps. Zeppa trying to cut him off. Honda's still hanging around though. This is so awkward, but they've actually found themselves trying to plant a bomb just about. Still a dangerous round, but boy, that was a close one. That was a narrow miss. And FURIA, their best chances have come and gone and look to cause more problems. Bearing in mind, Keserato's got a Desert Eagle as well as a Mag 7. So 3 players will have dangerous weapons at the very least in the next round from FURIA. But that was a narrow escape from Cloud9.
That was so weird. I think you really said it, Robin. Yeah, exactly. That so much in this game can sometimes just come down to timing, and it's just what goes into that. You know, it's so hard to quantify.
This is a really good round though by Alex that he calls. He's probably on the fly call as well of just let's just fake B. He's already passed that pit as well in middle and kind of comes past Honda. Very very nicely done. Almost make it for Furious and there as well. Zeppa needs a new headset maybe, but it looks good. I know what he did, right? It might be maybe a block of sorts, of a logo maybe. Use a mouth guard instead of a piece of tape.
Wait, I need to see this camera. Can we see this? I want to see what Robin is talking about. I don't know if production are listening to us. They're still fixing a few things, so they might be busy. Oh, Zeppa's camera, please. The
new kid on the block, former Chaos player.
Of course, he's leaning out. Oh, there we go. It looks like he's got knickers on there.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. It's like a headset diapers.
Yeah. Oh, is it a mask? It's a mask. Is it a mask?
I think it might be 2 masks. Maybe.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
So if you glance, it looks like ladies' underwear, but if you look carefully, I think it's actually a surgical mask.
He had one on the other side too. But yeah, that's the man of the hour, latest member of C9, former Chaos player. His former teammates, I think most of them, went over to Valorant. He stuck around, super happy to get a chance here with C9. Henry, he really is a G.
I wonder, I don't know if it feels like so many, but I don't know if it's that many in total moving over to Valorant. But I feel like, when the dust settles on that game, some of those guys aren't going to be getting checked anymore, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that respect. Kind of uncharted territory with that. But anyway, we've got FURIA now. They're trying to surround the long position, but they have been dutifully smoked off by Cloud9.
This is dangerous, actually.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, because FURIA actually does the rotate. They do a good read. And then you see here, because C9 falls back, we see the instant rotate from FURIA here as well. It's all going to be on matter of timing. We have a lot of mollies left, though, on the C9 side. So getting the bomb site's not going to be too difficult. And I actually think with that, they actually should have the round win here. But C9 kind of opting for the same anti-eco that we saw FURIA do, of just taking their time up long. But because they don't have any map presence anywhere else, and you don't hit the bomb site on timing, you could actually end up losing those rounds more often than not. But C9 really smart here, making the decision, let's just fall back, all the way back, go down banana and hit the bomb site again. That's a good start nonetheless for C9.
Yeah, they're surviving these really, like, if you're a Cloud9 fan, it's really nerve-wracking to see some of these situations. You're like, oh god, FURIA are just trying to cause as many problems as possible. There's our sound. Thank you, production. Things are looking good for us now. So Honda's got an AK-47 to save. Been a spicy half so far, and now FURIA have got money in the bank, so it's only going to get hotter and hotter. Cloud9 just 2 rounds behind now.
Yeah, there's so much potential here, and it's such a different story on this T side. If you're able to get off to that good start, it's something I was mentioning in the big OG matchup, is that there's this classic thing where if you get the ability to have a clean, first like few rounds that you can string together, you can really have a good opportunity to condition your CT opponents. But we'll go into that perhaps in more detail later on. We get more of a challenge here on Banana from both sides in terms of the exchange of utility, and wow, that's a lot of Molotovs right at the beginning of this. In fact, on Banana and on top mid, so all the utility being dumped immediately. And look how fast this pushes straight up to top mid. Made quick work of, though, by FURIA. Okay. All right, then.
Oh, my.
That was very surprising, just really meeting fire with fire and just... I mean, sometimes, you want to do that on the CT side. You want to just say, we're just going to try to win the round here in mid. They didn't have, like, a huge setup here or anything like that, but... Yeah, there wasn't any flashes that would have helped them to prevent such a defense.
Still money on the board, though. Alex opted for a Mac 10, so we should be seeing hoping for maybe a fast round here, but at least Alex taking the lead somewhere.
Fight for Banana begins. You can see 3 mollies and 2 smokes are down, but look at FURIA. Hold on a second. They had 3 players towards B. They'll move a third towards A. They were on top of each other on the radar, so I was wondering.
So this is what I was talking about before. We see that, look at FURIA's nades right now. They took over Banana, right? C9 didn't opt for it, right? So they pushed back. Look at the utility control here that C9 kind of has. They opt for mid still on timing. I'm not sure. He does get the one, though. It's a full-on brawl. Smokes everywhere. They actually hit the bomb site as well at the same time. Guess because
they've completely lost position. FURIA lost position on the A-bomb site entirely with the mini-pit smoke. Vinny tried to make inroads back towards the A-bomb site and failed to do so, and that's going to force FURIA into a save.
Yeah, I think that's sloppy from FURIA. Once the smoke goes down and you hear 2 guys sprayed from archway there, I mean, if you're C9, yeah, why wouldn't you just, run towards the bomb site? That's exactly what they do as well. It's completely empty. You have the motor smoke there as well. No one's on the bomb site except for the one player. He gets a kill, and yeah, that's round over. Timing-wise from C9 there was also a little bit off when we consider that FURIA took over Banana early, right? And we see the timing there. They're over in mid by the time the C9 hits that. But still makes the right decision. Goes fast once they actually decide to pull the trigger. Nice save from FURIA too. I mean that they still have another round here where they can buy. This is exactly what C9 needed here in the beginning. Rough first side there on the CT side. Swapping over to T side. And the first wrap around on the board. Pretty dominant at that. So we'll see what the response here is here from FURIA.
All right, so...
Oh, we're finding for Banana this time.
Yeah, exactly. And they are committing all the way. And that's going to be 1 kill already, trying to just go through to completion to that site control. Artho defending from the back, Honda there to support as well. They may have stopped this, we'll have to see. Still some life in Cloud9. Art will go down, he tried to buy time, and he bought just enough time for Artho to get a double. And that's going to lead things into this 1 versus 1. Mezzi versus Yuri.
Man, what a fast round there. Messi's playing this very smart, actually. Yuri wouldn't know if he went back to Banana, so kind of forces Yuri to go for a little bit of information play here. And for Messi, it's going to be down to timing. Oh my god, and Yuri gets the timing. It's going to be another straight back. I can't believe that, man. Like, this really comes down to just Yuri. Such a smart player. Messi actually had a really nice approach. Not knowing where Yuri is, though, gets a little bit worried or anxious rather of not knowing the location. So ends up flicking, and then the timing is just not there. That's the difficult part when you make it a fast, aggressive play over banana like that. Because of the fact you get the first one, that there's so many nades raining in from FURIA side. Even if you get the first entry, just because you're so low and then the rotation's already coming in, you tend to kind of just say like, let's go for banana, play fast. And if we get both of them there, you tend to go. But another banana here.
Oh, so many flames. There's KFC barbecue. And Cloud9 are on the menu. Tag not far away from joining them either. Alive with 24 HP for now. So just trying to offer some presence on banana. It's cost them 2 players. Honda in a very awkward angle, but he's in a sandwich now. The bomb's been dropped, but which way does he look? He does not really shot. Can't quite do the rest for S-Tag, who survives with 2 HP. Now we've got a 2 versus 2, creating some space with the smoke towards long, and Mezzi will move elsewhere as S-Tag looks to plant the bomb for Pit. This is one of the standard plants these days under the Vino sign. Forcing the CTs to face the wall if they want to defuse. But now the question is, can they hold?
Oh my god, okay, Caserado, you pre-fired that at the same time. That's insane.
Wow.
Leaving S-Tag with only 2 HP. Not going to be likely, most likely, but we'll see. He's going to have to be a little bit lucky here. Getting the first one, and then he gets the second. That's it. Oh man, getting the Caserado one as well is so important. Obviously, getting the Rifler instead of the AWP. Missing the AWP shot there as well.
Oh man, said it. Had to get a bit lucky. That's exactly what happened.
You saw middle of the jump. You know, you get essentially shoot at them both at the same time. I was gonna say this actually look. Yeah, I mean, you're very happy if you C9 here. I mean, the argument can be made. The problem that C9 has is that they haven't been able to fight for banana at all, which means that FURIA still has the mental advantage in the sense of like they kind of know that C9 have just been struggling with that. So normally what you end up seeing is after you see these incredible aggressive plays from banana every single time from CT, you just tend to just opt for throwing the nades after that and just starting to stack the A bomb side. So the fact that C9 still hasn't had much success on the banana bomb side, it's not good news, but if they're going to continue hitting those headshots like this, catching FURIA in their rotates, it doesn't really matter if they can't get banana or not.
Yeah, that was a big moment. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say things looking difficult for FURIA. Oh, but they could turn around now. Maybe not. The instant trade from Alex. Vinny creeping though. He's at a shadow disadvantage if he tries to enter Boiler, which is maybe to do with Caserato's pre-fire in that previous round. Trying to bait some information. Alex doing the same. Still alive now. He finds one of the final 2 players. Vinny's picked up an M4 though. Fair amount of bullets as well, but got some aim punch to deal with. And then there was Art with the Mag 7 as Cloud9 looked to make it to 11. It's been a difficult road for Cloud9 in this game of Inferno, but let's pay attention to that score. If they can keep FURIA poor, then who knows what might happen here.
Absolutely, especially find the replies here on the banana bomb sides as well of like not having to fight for it and still winning rounds. I think it's super important, especially even thinking about economy now as well. C9 are not quite there, also very low on money, but same could be said for FURIA, which means that the utility heading it next round is not going to be great. One could argue maybe it's a double eco. See another just half buy here from FURIA just to get some economy in order.
Yeah, it's an interesting shift when like you were talking about with banana, you know, the mental advantage and the information advantage you can get as a CT when you have all that utility. Once you are in a position where that utility isn't really available because your economy is kind of ruined, there's this chance that the T side can get to actually regain control of banana. They can start doing to the CTs what was done to them, and so I'm looking forward to seeing if C9 can actually do that, and for us to feel like they have more presence and control of the map overall. Because I think, as you sort of highlighted, FURIA have been really good at sort of just having their way with the map in that sense.
Yeah, I think that's like some of the things that maybe viewers don't think about too much of. You know, sometimes you might see like a sloppy B rush in some cases, and you know, for fans they might just be like, why do we do that, right? But I think in a lot of cases what people don't realize is it's a lot of mental, right, of like reading the game, of, you know, understanding what's going on. And in most cases, if you see just a banana or like a B rush, for example, it's just more so of like telling the opponents that, hey, we're going to fight for this area. Like, you're going to have to be cautious. And you kind of saw that from Cloud9 with the Alex with Mac 10, right? It kind of forces Furia to always think, oh, they might come. They might come. We have to waste nades. We have to waste nades. Which obviously, again, thinking late in the round then is going to be a benefit for the piece. Nice flash there from Alex. Seppa getting the 2 gets a lot of information as well, seeing that it's at least 2 more in mid for Furia. We know that it's 3, so them falling back, taking their time here. Another nice round here from C9. We can kind of see their T side is actually much, much better in terms of approach. And one could argue that individual performance tends to take precedence over CT side. That's a little bit more crossfires, a little bit more, you know, holding angles and working together. So it doesn't surprise me here that C9 is looking a little bit better here on this T side. It's going to tie it up too, make it 12-12. We got a map on our hands.
Yeah, I feel like some of the scary rounds have been FURIA with, well, apart from Art with the AWP, I think like even the eco rounds have been somewhat dangerous. They've had some nasty lineups, FURIA, but attention to detail there with the flashbang from Cloud9. The recon mission with the Mac 10 certainly paid off for them. Gave them the information they needed to tie the score.
So normally what you might see a timeout here from Furia, just to want to talk about it, but also one thing you might see, they either just stick with the banana takes, but they could also fake it here now where they throw the nades and they will just play, play 4A right off the bat to kind of account for it, and hoping that C9 will just potentially maybe rush a bit because they know that utility's not going to quite be there. In case like this, you tend to have a very fast round from T side, knowing that CTs won't have potentially, max utility. We'll see what I think Art got the AWP dropped, which is why we don't see a weapon on him yet. Og on Vinny as well. So we'll see what the approach is. I think we did see a timeout, right? Based on the freeze. So see if they talked about how we're gonna manage the CT side. I think Furia has done a good job early, but it's been after that, when they haven't had the payoff of getting the entries, it kind of fell flat a little bit. And for C9, they find the banana again. It's what I was talking about. Step on the Mac 10 as well. And again, this is really just to showcase as well that, hey, we want to fight for banana. Like, you can't just leave it. You can't just play, one banana and 4A. Forces Furia to play like this with the 3 banana. And as well, we look at utility. Look at the fake that C9 did. We look at what they have left now on Furia's side. 2 flashbangs left and 2 smokes, and it's 1 minute 20. It's a positive here that they actually ended up getting S tag. Otherwise, this wouldn't have looked very pretty for Furia. Had this gone.
Furia, as long as they have Art with this AWP, he's just going to keep peeking, I feel like. They just flashed him off and forced him back, but you can see how hungry he is to go for it again. Honda makes his way towards the CT spawn towards the well, but there's no pop flash for him, as Robin mentioned. Very light on utility now, but maybe they make up for it with Art being alive. Floppy looking for some FURIA players now. We can see that Keserato's boosted on short, and they're playing different positions. Sometimes the roof, sometimes the balconies above. Is his knife called Titties? I swear that said Titties. Anyway, 35 seconds. Cloud9 to make a play into B.
This is also 400 IQ, but if you pay attention, if you're like really good on the comps during the round here, you would know that Cloud9 wasted a lot of smokes, but not a lot of mollies. And you tend to actually end up going B at late round when you just have molly stuff like that, which is kind of why you saw Furia stacking the 3 towards the B bomb site. Might have been another read, but it's one of the things you can kind of get throughout the rounds. So makes that 3-on-3 now.
Oh, Honda, he can clean up, and he will do exactly that. We can see that that smoke at the front of the site was dropped by Art, so he could play behind it. He baited Cloud9 into jumping into the barrels position to look in towards the site. Got a free kill. He was traded immediately, but with 10 seconds left, Honda, again, Art with the distraction tactics there, and then Honda at the back just waiting, biding his time. Nobody checked for him, and it was absolutely free. No bomb plant either for Cloud9.
And I think as well, to your point, Robin, there was an extra detail, I think, that already also gave Fury the idea that they could stack towards that B site, which was after that initial attack, there was that kind of cut noise moment from Cloud9, and at the timing where you would expect to see the control take of top mid, even if they don't end up going to A, there was nothing. At around 40 seconds, there was still nothing top mid. And so I felt like Cloud9 kind of missed their timing a little bit, like they're a little bit too slow, and it gave FURIA, a little bit of extra information that it's very unlikely at this point.
Yeah, because normally what you would do there, if you see C9's positioning, I don't know who's number 5, but you had one C9 member
Floppy.
all the way. Was it Floppy? He was all the way close to apps, but he didn't have a smoke, so he couldn't fake that they're going A, which is why he just fell back, which is why the timing kind of, came a little bit off. But yeah, a lot of small moments here. Again, we kind of see, right? Like, this is now C9's answer to it. Like, hey, we've showed that we fought mid, or we've showed that we fought banana. Now they just sent S-Attack there, right, to do a small fake. And we see the FURIA reply here. Now, the answer from Yuri is going aggressive, and it's probably the best move that he could have made to actually stop C9's push. Otherwise, in terms of just overall approach from C9, they've actually done a really good job early around here. But it comes down to as well, we talk about the headshots, and you have to land the shots. And it's a 2-on-1 now. The new kid on the block, Seppa, in a 1-on-2. Does have a lot of nades, though. Molly, Flash, and a HE. We'll see what he wants to do with it. Very defensive positionings here. FURIA trying to see if he wants to push a little bit, waiting for the smokes to fade as well. Art has the one flashbang. It's probably going to be used for Vinny to clear pit, potentially. Here we go. We see a flashbang comes out. And this is where we kind of want to talk about Vinny's flashbangs here in some sense as well. Obviously, doesn't really need it, but Vinny still has 2 flashbangs here we could have used to help Art out to clear the bomb side a little bit better. But nades-wise and just overall, the comms there in the 2v1. Perfect. It's up against the bomb plant, but that's about it.
It's so hard to know where to look, like where your crosshair placement should be, when like who's going to peek me first. It's like this very simple question that feels like so impossible to answer, and that's like where you have to have like a good position to help make that and make your life easier in that way. But at the same time, FURIA played it, as you said, really well, very coordinated.
That was an excruciatingly slow retake from FURIA. I thought like I don't even want to have time for this, but of course they just make it look like textbook play. The flashes, the execution, and the defuse never in doubt for them. Molly's all over the map, as we can see. Perfectly timed smoke grenade. Looks like Cloud9 maybe going for a fast play again, but FURIA was slowed down by an HE grenade. Queserato with 3, and Honda's here to clean up the trade frag as well, leaving Alex alone as FURIA go to game point just like that. We saw pop flash plays from Cloud9 earlier on. The smoke in the last second into that Molotov, and then they just got absolutely murdered by FURIA top mid.
I can see the approach there from C9. Again, we look at the rounds that they've done before, right? They've been fighting for banana. This round, they don't, and they want to go for a fast mid-take, right? The problem here is that when C9 doesn't throw any nades banana, it's still a tell from FURIA. So walking through a smoke in mid is, in a lot of cases, right, a suicide mission. And I think we kind of just saw that there, especially when they do have the read. Makes it a 15-12. Now here we see it again, right? Like, yeah, had they done a little bit more work here on banana and maybe just one smoke on one of the sides, it would have been a little bit better. But again, we talk about these sloppy B rushes on location. This is very much the same thing on mid, in a way of like you try to take mid early, trying to take them off guard. If we notice that C9's position on their CT side, they never really played aggressive in mid, which means that had they played themselves, they would have just gotten that area for free. So it's a bit of a gamble. Comes down to, again, with FURIA being a little bit more of a random team as well. We don't really know where we have him, so in some cases you have to be a little bit gambly back. Didn't pay off that time though. FURIA back on the 3 towards B. And again, why change it when it's been working? C9 has not found an answer to it yet, and now you see that all 3 replying with the rotate.
Seppa forcing his way into Boiler. That was a very awkward position for all concerned. But look at this rotation from FURIA. The entire team streaming into the A bomb site. Sloppy landing a nice headshot though, and well, that was quite a round. Shock and awe, everyone suddenly dead for FURIA. A lot of flashbangs there, a lot of frags going away at Cloud9. But they need 2 more. And if they, I mean, who knows if it gets easier or harder if Cloud9 are to win this one, because FURIA will have less money, but that could be tricky. So we'll see if they can conquer round 29 before we get to 30.
Super dominant round there from C9. And to your point there, James, I mean, this is really make or break it for FURIA. We have an AWP and Art again, but there's no more money left in the bank. So, see, FURIA's looking to close that out. This is the round to do it. Again, C9 hasn't really been fighting for banana. This is the first really mid-round take on banana, and we see the FURIA already rotated over. Obviously, again, with them just taking over bottom of banana, it does allow FURIA to rotate back, but something new from C9. Would love for them to just do something in mid here before we do for the B execute. Let's make sure that we show some presence elsewhere on the map. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to read. C9, they've done the one thing this round, and that's just been shooting a banana. Nothing in mid, nothing alt mid. FURIA knows it. We see the stack.
And he starts to back away. See Art fired a shot down banana earlier on, but he's rotated his way towards the B bomb site. Now, does he dare go to peek top mid? Of course he does. Just walking straight with no respect, and Alex is going to get picked off while the rest of the team go towards the A bomb site. Now he's done that. Look at the rotation from FURIA, but can they get to the A bomb site in time? And will Cloud9 read this? Currently, long is free, but soon it will be quite populated with FURIA players, and Art's on the flank up mid as well. That molly will be key. Smoking Arch as they look to pinch the A bomb site.
Oh, Yuri goes down. That's so important for C9. So you mentioned Art is already up in mid, man. He's T as well. He's playing the both sides. Turns out. 3-on-3 though. That was a great position. I think this is one of the things that Alex excels at, like these mid-round calls that he does. Like that was a great call that he does. He just plays banana right. He goes for a fake. They don't really do anything, but they fall back, and timing is there as well on the C9 end. Gives them another round win here. We know that Honda is the one with M4, opting to save. 15-14 now. Not going to be a lot of money for FURIA here last round. Have we had an overtime yet today? Or is this going to potential at first? I don't think so, right? We've been close. Some 16-14.
Yeah, the dig OG game was super close. I feel like
that could have been an overtime.
Yeah, maybe even 2, actually. First map to third map. But yeah, this could be the first. And you know what? We were singing the praises of FURIA, just saying how great they are as a team. How good they are in terms of just overall results, giving them such a great ranking, their experience as a core, and they have all these things going for them that Cloud9 does not. And that first half was so dominant, but here Cloud9 are. They're looking to go for that overtime, the victory in overtime. They're making it look very possible, and the equipment here for FURIA is lacking, but they'll try to go for an aggressive play with banana, using that aggressive smoke to force more action from Cloud9. And Cloud9 are going to try to walk through apartments, but that's been spotted now by Yuri. Key information, and look, a full rotation pretty much coming through towards that A site. Just start staying behind. Ooh, Cloud9 are in an interesting spot right now because they should realize that FURIA have position. So either they decide that they don't care about that, they've got an execute that's still going to be strong, or they try to use the time on the clock here. Because they should assume that, given what FURIA have seen, that they are going to have 4 players at least ready to go for this.
Again here, let's see what Alex actually has in mind, because this is what he's been doing a little bit frequent. Does a fake up in mid and just pushes back, but he actually smokes off banana now, so I think this is going to be an A play. I was going to note, to your point about FURIA here, they've been struggling on this A bomb side a little bit, so we'll see if they can manage to hold. Oh my god!
Oh, they're all dead. Apart from S-Tag, who's on long now with the AWP, 35 seconds, eating flashbangs. Smoked off. And the smoke is gone. He's in a triple peak from FURIA as they win Inferno 16-14. It was a valiant effort from Cloud9, but in the end, FURIA and their experience as a team together will just about topple Cloud9 on their pick of Inferno. It was a pretty bad look for Cloud9 at the beginning of the map, but ended in a much better fashion, but still doesn't go their way.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, I think C9 had a really good T-side approach. They never took anything for granted. They took their time. They allowed FURIA to, if you want to keep taking B, have at it, right? Like, you're just wasting nades. We're not even going to fight for it. And I think that's really the downfall, or I was going to say that could have been the downfall for FURIA here of like not solving that banana take. But I think them hitting a bomb side at the end there for C9, FURIA with a good read there as well. Exciting first map. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with map number 2 in just a few minutes.